Okay, this is
gonna be rough.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Bailey, or BTLB, and this channel is going to be dedicated to my movie reviews. I try to see every movie in theater, so hopefully every movie will make it on this channel. Hopefully. If you're wondering why I'm not so excited at the moment, it's because I'm going to be talking about the movie Venom. Now, I know this movie has already been out for like 10 months. I'm very well aware of that. Very late to this. However, I think that's a good thing. Whenever a new movie comes out and people try to talk about it, a lot of opinions are manipulated based on other people's opinions. I'm glad that this gave me enough time to have some breathing room so I can actually talk about this movie and it be my own thoughts and opinions, so I'm not just another guy talking about Venom. Even though that's all I'm doing. Now, before we get into the review, I wanted to cover a couple of things. Number one, I will probably be cursing in a lot of these reviews because I am very passionate about movies. However, I understand a lot of people think that's too excessive or too vulgar, so I will censor them out. Number two, these are my own thoughts and opinions. I don't expect you to agree with every single one of them. So if you don't agree with what I have to say, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion about it. But let's keep it friendly, let's keep it fun. No need to get
your panties in a bunch.
Finally, number three, I have a rating scale with these movies. It ranges anywhere from 1 to 10. Now granted, I do cheat a little bit. If it's a 0, probably like what I'm gonna rate this movie, it means it is dog and I will never want to watch it again because it's so
goddamn awful.
If it's above 10, usually just to exaggerate my point, it means I think this movie is perfect and more. So within reason, I'm going to keep everything between 1 to 10, but if you do see something that's below or above that, it's usually just to exaggerate how much I like or dislike these movies. Anyway, I've stalled long enough. This is going to be torture. This is Venom. So Venom is about reporter Eddie Brock. This guy digs up the dirt on every possible story he can find for his job. He seems noble at first when he tries to stick up for the working man, but then we watch as he backhands his fiancée, job, and pretty much anyone who gave a crap about him in the first place. He dug too much up and basically made his fiancée lose her job, and is shocked that she reasonably dropped his ass. Oh my god, Sony, you did so good with Spider-Verse. So good. So, after dealing with the likable antics of Eddie Brock, we shift focus onto Carlton Drake, our villain, who works for the Life Foundation. Get it? He's a bad guy, and he works for the Life Foundation. You like that joke? Well, strap in, because this
whole movie's a joke.
Anyways, Drake is your basic big bad scientist trying to discover aliens and evolve humans. He stumbles across these sludge-like creatures called symbiotes. Not symbiotes, symbiotes. I don't know why that was so hard to pronounce. He finds these symbiote creatures that require a host to survive. He collects a small sample of these creatures and starts testing it out on people. You know, bad guy. Eddie and Drake's paths eventually cross when Eddie trespasses into the Life Foundation and finds himself conjoined with a symbiote. After he escapes, he runs back to his apartment and had a worse psychotic break than I had watching this movie in the theater. Eddie is hunted down by Drake's goons and the symbiote protects Eddie. The two then escape once again and the symbiote introduces itself as Venom. He explains that his species is one that requires a bond to host, and of course, Eddie's the perfect match. So like, can we burn all the copies of this? Can we burn it, please? Okay, so that's as far as I can go for explaining how bad this movie is because holy this is bad. It's so bad.
Why?
You know, when they first announced Venom, I was excited. Like, my level of excitement went solo Venom movie. Rated R. Stars Tom Hardy. Could have Carnage in it. Not in the MCU. Done. Hated it. It was garbage. Ever since Marvel sold the film rights to Sony back in the 90s to avoid bankruptcy, Sony has focused on only making money with this product instead of actually figuring out creative and smart ways to make the money. I get it, you're a business, you're trying to make money, but I shouldn't have to suffer because you made a movie with no creativity at all. Here's my thoughts on the movie. Number one, Sony. It's a Spider-Man villain movie without
Spider-Man!
Because you get rid of the dynamic between Eddie Brock and Peter Parker, there's nothing to hate about Venom anymore because now you're making him the protagonist. And while I get it, the whole Marvel and Sony thing of creating controversy between the universes and all that, I get it. That's confusing enough. But then just don't make the movie or put Venom in the MCU. I don't care either way what you did. But now you took away the heart and soul of why that relationship between those two characters is good and erased half of it. So now I don't give a about the character. Not to mention, Venom only exists because of Spider-Man. Venom was part of Spider-Man's costume. It made him go all emo. Remember this? Yeah, that happened. But because it feeds off of the negative emotions of the wearer, he ripped it off. It happened to go on Eddie Brock, who hates Peter Parker and Spider-Man. The symbiote revealed that the two are the same person and created the ultimate bad guy for him. Not to mention, he has all of Spider-Man's abilities now too. I know I sound like a fat, angry nerd.
I am!
But I at least have a reason for why, because you're up the source material. It made no sense. Why would you do that? What the is with that lighting? I want to take the time to appreciate the decent CGI they used with Venom. They did such a good job at making him look like Venom. Not this.
Oh yeah, I know all about you.
Not even this.
Never wound.
But this. However, the problem isn't with the CGI. It's not even that he's missing the giant white spider that we've all grown to love. The problem is you can't see him! What the hell? Sony, two things. One,
why?
But two, why would you make a giant ass character whose main primary color is black and make every scene with him in it night? I can't see a goddamn thing. I get that the mood lighting in the theater will be really cool when it's all dark, but I have to squint to see the main character. That's a problem, dude. That doesn't even matter if it's a Marvel movie or a Sony movie or not. That's a movie problem. That means that whoever designed the lighting for that scene is so stupid that they thought, oh hey, let's make Venom a 9-foot tall sludge creature who's all black, not visible. Number 3, why wasn't it rated R? I know that changing a movie into PG-13 is a smart business decision, but at the same time, you would have made so much more money if it was rated R. I mean, no, let's not take a raunchy comic book character
do not go in there
into a 2.5-hour movie
in a moment.
and then make $1 billion.
Well, I guess we found something you're not better at.
Because it's not like that will ever happen. Finally, my biggest point about this movie, and the number 4 reason why I hate this movie, but 4 is actually important in this case. What the was that dialogue? I could go on for hours about how bad the story was, how phoned in all the performances were, but by far, the worst thing this movie has to offer is the goddamned dialogue. Holy shit. This movie was horrible when it came to its lines. I'm an amateur at making short films and videos like this one. But $1 billion company using one of the most popular Marvel characters of all goddamn time thought this sounded threatening. Like a turd in the wind. Venom is a 9-foot tall sludge creature known for ripping people's heads off and then eating them. But you thought the most threatening thing, not even the most threatening, the funniest thing was
like a turd in the wind.
So before I get into my overall rating, I want to give at least 1 or 2 positives in this. I know most of this review has been negative. Normally, it's not going to be like this, I promise you. But there were 1 or 2 moments of joy this movie gave me. Actually, 3 things. First things first, when I went to go see this movie, I was dying laughing in the theater. And not because this movie's funny, because me and my friend went to go see this movie. I went in thinking, you know what, let me be fair, it might be a good movie, who knows? The Columbia Pictures logo came up, and I let out the biggest sigh known to man and gave up right away because I forgot this was a Sony production. Yeah, that's right, Sony. The guys who brought you Spider-Verse, which was a masterpiece, brought you this.
Sure.
The only saving graces of this movie were Tom Hardy's chemistry with the symbiote and the action. Tom Hardy would record his lines with the Venom dialogue beforehand and have an earpiece in when he was filming, so he could hear Venom talking to him during the scenes they would have to interact. That was very creative on his part, and just honestly, it made for a better performance out of him. Who, by the way, he was the only one I liked in this movie. Michelle Williams was so bland. The villain was so poorly written. None of the characters on the side meant anything. The funniest part about this movie was a dog died. Yeah, I said it. And the action was as decent as a popcorn movie can go. It wasn't anything special, but at least I got some enjoyment out of it. Overall, this movie was just a dumpster fire in the offices of Sony, who don't know how to make anything good with Spider-Man unless it's animated. The dialogue was god-awful, the performances were less than ideal, the writing was bland, and not even the action or CGI could save it. Sony has an entire planned shared universe of Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man, so hopefully it'll burn and leave us at rest, or they improve and make at least one good movie. So guys, at the end of the day, I'm going to give Venom a 0 out of 10. So, that was my review for Venom. If you liked what you saw, please go down and give this video a like. Go down into the comments and tell me what you thought about the movie. Did you agree? Did you disagree? I'd love to know. Please turn on the bell for post notifications to stay up to date with what my channel has to offer. But hopefully you enjoyed and you'll come back for more. Again, my name is Bailey or BTLB. I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.